Mrs. Miller, may I go to the bathroom, please?
So, imagine, if you will, we're all heading down to the boys' bathroom. This is one of the best exercises that I can do to show you how a neural transmission and neural firing's happening. And if you've ever walked into the boys' bathroom and the entire class happens to be there, you might remember how weird it was to walk into a group of people looking at the toilet. So here we go. I want to talk about what action potential means. And action potential is essentially all the components that need to happen to go to the bathroom. So we have the toilet, and we have the water, and we have all of the necessary components. And what's going to happen is that we're going to have this depolarization. And a depolarization is going to be the toilet flushing. Now think about what's happening with the neuron. When the neuron fires, it is going to depolarize and send all of that message onto the next neuron. In order for the depolarization to happen and that neural transmission to get sent, certain things have to go on. So part of it is the all or none principle. When we talk about the all or none principle, we need to either flush this or don't. Like, we can't only half flush. In fact, if you even look at the lever right here, I can push it a little bit, but if I want it to flush, I have to push it down fully. And so it has to meet this threshold. See, look, I can push it down a little bit, but that's not meeting the threshold. In order for the neuron to fire, it has to fire completely. It either happens or it doesn't. And so once it meets that threshold, it'll fire, and it will fire every time. Just like once you push down the lever, it will flush, and it will flush every time. That's what the goal is. But if you don't build up enough, it can't even get to that point of depolarization. So as you know, if you know anything about how a toilet works, we have like a direction of the impulse. And remember, I've told you that a neuron firing can only go one way. It's only going to travel down the axon in one direction. Think about the toilet. Aren't we glad that the direction of the impulse only goes one way? We want it to go down. Can you imagine if the direction of the impulse of the toilet flushing went up? That would be a mess, and we wouldn't want any part of that. So there's only one direction for the impulse. Now, I don't know if you heard that, but there's this refractory period. In the refractory period, the toilet has to have time to kind of like load up again, right? And the tank has to fill. So if we look back here on the tank, and you could almost see this if you think about your own toilet at home. At school, there's often not a tank, and so it's a little bit more difficult to understand. But in the refractory period, ready? So like, that's not enough, right? It's not enough to depolarize and send it down. So here we go. There goes the direction of the impulse. Now, it's going, and the direction is happening in the right way. Here we go with the refractory period. The refractory period is building. All of those ions are shooting back into the axon, and they're waiting to fire again. And even right there, I could press that all I want, but it's not going to fire again. It needs to build up, and it needs to be ready for that next neural transmission. And until I get to the full tank, it doesn't matter how much I push this down. It will not fire again. Now, you can see quickly, this is building up and building up and building up. And pretty soon, we're going to get to the point where it's full, and it would be ready to be depolarized again. And that point right there, we're almost there. You can hear it. There, now that point is the resting period. It means it's waiting for this message to be sent. As soon as the communication gets sent down again, it's ready to go. Right now, it's got the potential for depolarization. It doesn't have to fire, but once it gets it, as long as it fully fires, it will go. And it's not going to go just halfway. It is fully going to flush. And that is just like neural communication. So it would be a heck of a lot more fun if we were in the boys' bathroom and a freshman boy walked in or something and was like, I gotta go. I gotta leave. But maybe this will help you remember how a neuron fires. So, see you later. Bye.